it's me again. I thought I clicked the face button and I hadn't. Anyway, it's me again. Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, working across the UK, France, Germany, Austria and the Netherlands. It is my job, but it's a hobby I love too. So, today we are featuring, sorry there's stuff going off on my phone, we're featuring the Abigail Rose suite, which is gorgeous. And since I did my unboxing video earlier in the week, if you haven't seen it, you need to have a look at that because it's had some really good comments saying how helpful it was. So do go and have a look at that. Hello Claire, hello Rachel. You've just sat down after decluttering all day in your craft room. Yes, you can relax and watch me instead. Morning Sherry. So yes, I'm not expecting this to be a long live because I've got my catalogue launch party tomorrow and I do still need to do some stuff for that. I will be doing another launch party later in the month, but that's the one I'm doing tomorrow is a kind of private event with lots of goodies and stuff which people have paid to join, and the one later in the month will be more of a show and tell. So keep your eyes peeled for that. If you're not on my mailing list already, do remember to sign up for that. It will be just a YouTube live, so anyone can join from anywhere across the world. And you can sign up to my newsletter by going to my website, and the link for that is below in the description bar. So, what can I tell you? We've got our car back. Yay! And I've just noticed a piece of string holding up a tree. Okay, didn't know that was there. I know why it's there, but I hadn't spotted it until now. So yes, we've got our car back, and because they had mucked us about so much, there was a little surprise. A little surprise bottle of fizz on the passenger seat. So yay! Hello Helen from Michigan. Yes, it's a surprise random live because it's new catalogue time, so I'm doing random lives. So Abigail Rose, I'm going to flip the camera down and show you where everything is. So new catalogue. It's beautiful. It's already getting a bit bent, but hey. So Abigail Rose is on page 56 of your song sheet, of your catalogue. It's gorgeous. We looked at it on when we did the launch, when I did the unboxing, but let's just have a quick look at the papers again. This is the paper that I'm using today, or the specific sheet, but let's have a look, get it out of its protective protection. So I'm storing these in 12-inch LP covers. The colours are petal pink, slatey smoke, smoky slate, crumb cake, early espresso, very vanilla, and black. Phew, I've almost got them down pat. So smoky slate all over pattern, nice gentle rose pattern. Sorry, it's a bit under my face. Let me go back so I can see comments. Then we've got this nice stripe. That I love this stripe. They've used this stripe in other colours before, and I love it. So early evergreen. I think it's time for me to open the bottle of champagne and have some alcoholic stimulus. Early espresso background with, I think they are still supposed to be roses, but they look more like tulips, but that's just me. This is the reverse of one of the papers that I'm using. So this is an accounting print with this is a very, very pale, very vanilla, very espresso. It really, I think I need an early night. Although there was something on the radio earlier today that said if you have too much sleep, it can be worse than having not enough. So maybe not. Nice sprig. Crumb cake background, although actually I think this is probably a light early espresso, if that makes sense, with a rose print, little sort of ditzy floral random print. These look a bit more like poppies, but I think they're meant to be wild roses, which do look a bit like this. And then we've got a little spot and floral pattern with the main image on the front. Let's slip that back in there. And then pop that all down underneath my desk. For those of you who don't know already, I stand when I craft. I actually stand when I do most things because I have a really bad case of sciatica that's never going to be able to be cured. So anyway, I'm using this project here as my inspiration, but it is only my inspiration. I'm going to, well, I say it is only. No, it's going to be quite an accurate case, but not completely. This is the stamp set. It's red rubber. I have actually put the labels on, which is miraculous. So best wishes. It's going to be Fab, which is the one that I'm going to use because it mirrors this. Happy birthday. You are positively the greatest. Friends forever. Feel better soon. And then various images. And I have discovered something about these in addition to what we were talking about earlier in the week. And I'm actually going to deal with that first. You'll know what I mean in a minute. So we've got this wonderful die, which die cuts so that you can lay the die cut over the paper, which we will be doing. I have done the die cutting, but I've stopped at just the die cutting. This does the big floral. So this does this one here. This does the leaf. This does do this stamp, but obviously it's connected. And these are these three dies here. Again, they are connected. And then there's some standalone dies with florals, foliage, and a standalone flower. Oh, and some, I think that's probably foliage rather than a floral, but who knows. Anywho, so I'm just going to show you a trick that I've found, which you may have already worked out if you've got this, but I'm going to show you anyway, because it was one of those light bulb moments. So I've got my lovely Stamparatus again, and I die cut the big die. This is Berry Burst. It's an old retired colour, and I use my retired colours for these sorts of things. So I've already lined these three flowers up with this, and ooh, where did I put my bits? I should have a little pile of bits somewhere, which I thought were in there. But they're not. Where have my bits gone? I've lost my bits. Because they fit in. They were there. They're not in the bin because I picked them out of the bin. They're not there. This is embarrassing. They're not there. Oh, they're under my early espresso ink pad. Good grief, woman. So, I have saved from the bin the large flower and the three small flowers. I'm going to show you how I line up my stamps. I've already done the three. This, I'm just going to sort of wiggle into the die cut so that it's sort of, I know where the edges are. Then I can put it where I think it's going to be correct. Then I'm going to ink it up. Gosh, you're all being very quiet today. I'm going to ink it up, not particularly well, because this is just to check that everything's all right, and it is, so that's good. So I will now get my stamp case, pop it under there, and so I'm using early espresso because it is one of the colours in the suite, and because this is petal pink, I'm kind of following the colours from the suite. Can someone just leave a comment so that I know that everything's all right? Because it is slightly concerning that there aren't even any hellos now. I've got Helen saying hello from Michigan, and that's everything. I've got 2 likes, which is lovely. Hello, Nora. Phew! Thank you. I know that the comments are working and I'm still live. Excellent. Right, so I've popped my die cut pieces back into the die cut. And I'm just going to ink up my stamps and stamp. All okay with Claire. Good. I'm going to make sure that it's a good press. It's not bad. I didn't line this up particularly well. So there we are. I'm kind of happy with that. You're engrossed. That's fine. Hello, Val from Australia. Glad everything's good. Excellent. I just panic every now and again. I did go through a phase where the line was dropping out. It was when they decided that there actually was a problem with our line, but they let us suffer for about 3 weeks before they discovered that, and then gave us no notice. They said they had to do an emergency repair, even though it had been dodgy for about 3 weeks. So these are our stamped images using the negative of what I'm about to show you. Or is this the positive? I guess this is the positive. Hello, Marva from New York State. So there we go. So do keep the bits that come out of this die, and then, as I say, with your Stamparatus, it's very easy just to stamp on them, line them up and stamp. So that's that. Right, let me show you what I have already got ready, which is a piece of crumb cake, because crumb cake is one of the colours. So let's burnish that. This is the front because it's slightly longer. I have die cut from Petal Pink, and it's just a random piece of Petal Pink that happens. Val says, we're so mesmerised with what you're doing. Oh, bless. Janice, hi Liz, so happy to catch you live 2 days in a row. Absolutely. Debating about this set. It is very pretty. Anxious to see how you're creating beautiful things with it. Excellent. Well, hopefully it will be beautiful. So I've cut this piece of Petal Pink. I can't decide whether to trim the edges but not bottom. But I've also got this piece of paper which lines up. I'm going to put this up on dimensionals, by the way, the Petal Pink. So this lines up with the paper. Now that does mean two things. A, you can do this, which is one of the things they've done in the catalogue, but B, you could line the die up to the paper and die cut the paper. You would then end up with tiny little pieces, but you could rebuild everything back together if you had that much patience, which I may or may not have. Hello, Ruth from Alberta in Canada. So what I do know I'm going to do is cut this down to size, because I don't need the whole piece. I only need the bit that's at the top. It's fine. And then I need down to, up to and including this. This is the lowest image. So this stalk here is the lowest image. So I'm going to give it a little bit more space. Keep my fingers firmly crossed that I've got this right. Actually, I might give it a little bit more. And cut. This is where I discover that I haven't lined it up properly, and I'm completely wrong. It is wonderful, isn't it, Val? So there we are. So we've got our piece. Now the difficulty is going to be, I want this to be flat and this to be popped up. And as I say, I'm thinking of trimming this so that it's the same length as the card, but a little narrower. Hello, B. So the look, I'm going to push this over to one side. So I'm either looking at this sort of look with the crumb cake showing, or this sort of look with it not showing. And then I'm going to have the sentiment down here probably stamped on crumb cake. I may overlap some of these bits, but we'll see. And then I am going to use some of the ribbon, which is gorgeous. Let me just say it's... Oh, and I've got a die cut suddenly appearing. In fact, I might have die cuts flying all over the place. This is the ribbon. In fact, where are they? Oh, there they are. Right, because I have die cut some of the filigree. Your bucket list has just expanded. Just call me an enabler, Val. It makes a huge difference to actually see products being used. There are some things that you just kind of go, really? And then when you see it, you kind of go, oh, really? Anyway, so do you think that we should have a banner or no banner? So a bit showing, a bit of the crumb cake showing, or not? Hello, Jan from Southern Oregon. cool card. Thank you. Well, it's cool bits of paper at the moment. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this so that it's nearer the same size as the card front. So I'm going to cut my card there, as in my petal pink card. And Nora's list is growing too. Good, that's always good to see. Loving this already, and you've not even finished. Yep, that'll be me. It's just, the products are just so nice. With the border, says Nora and Gian. Right, we're going with the border then. Okay, so while I'm here, I'm going to trim this down. I'm only going to take a little bit off. It's only going to be can't decide whether to take a quarter or an eighth. I think I'm going to have I think I'm going to be difficult. I'm going to take 3/8 of an inch, and that actually is 1/2 centimetre. So for those of you who work in metric, it's 1/2 centimetre. And for those of us that work in inches, it's 3/8 of an inch. And that will go for whether you're North American or international cardstock. So we now have this. Too late now, ho ho ha ha hee hee, and all that. So this is what we're going to be looking at. So we're going to be looking at that, but preferably properly lined up. So how, you ask, and I ask myself, are we going to make sure that this lines up properly? Well, I am going to get my seal, and I'm going to pop a tiny bit of adhesive on diagonal corners, and I'm then going to take some of the adhesive off. Hello, Beverly. So I'm making this less sticky. So it's tacky now rather than sticky. I can then line up my paper as accurately as I possibly can. And at this stage, the only adhesive is on the front of the designer series paper. I think that's pretty close to lined up. So I'm now going to press those two corners, and that's holding it in place. And now you can see it's not, well, maybe you can't, but it's not quite square to the card. I'm not surprised, frankly. I think I am going to use liquid adhesive. I may regret this because I may then pull everything off and pull the whole lot off again. But we'll see. Like that. So I want this top to line up with the top of my card. And I want my borders, in a perfect world, to be the same size. So let's see what we can do. Okay. So if my card is straight, that would be helpful. That's not straight. Let's pull that off again. Fortunately, it's liquid glue, so we get a little bit of time to play with it. There we go. So I'm now going to give it a good press. Hello, Lorna. Thank you, Beverly. So that's where we are, but I want it popped up. So I can now take this off because this was just tacky. And now I can work with this with my dimensionals, which would be even better if I had more dimensionals. It's not as if I don't have lots. Black, mini. Excuse me while I just go and get some dimensionals out of my drawer. Black, full size white. Yay! Full size white. This is where I then spot a whole sheet. I think I have got a whole sheet here. Yeah, found it. Never mind. We'll open another packet. let's face it, they won't be around for long. I will have used lots before very long. Right, so I do need to get some idea of, I know this isn't lined up, but of how far down I'm going to come. So it's going to be about there. So I don't really want dimensionals too much further down. So I've got an imaginary line. Well, let's do a real line. So we're going to have a line kind of here. So this is where we're going to cut it off. So anything below that I'd end up cutting. Thank you, Nora. So dimensionals. We are going to need a reasonable number because this is quite finely cut. That's almost like that's made for going in those dips. Okay. Crack a new pack open. Woo! Gotta love cracking a new pack open. So the bottom and the top I'm going to be really careful with. Hello, Judith! So coming a bit from the edge there. This isn't exactly riveting TV, I do apologise, but we do need to make sure that we've got sufficient dimensional without going Bruno Bertucci mad. Right, so that's the kind of solid bits. I might actually just put one more there. Actually, no, I'm going to put a little one in the gap. So this is now dead. Love throwing away a dimensional backing. Back in the day when I did face-to-face classes, I used to rummage through the bins because my ladies would not use the edge pieces, and I'd rummage through the bins and give it back to them and say, no, use the edge pieces. They're sticky too. Right, okay, so we need to go in there. I have got a few little bits already cut, but I may need to do a few more. What can we do with this? Sticky scissors. I mean, you don't need to go mad, but you do need to support. Oh, that's a full size. That's a full-size mini, if you can have a full-size mini. You just need to make sure you've got sufficient support for this not to bow too badly when it's in the post. Hello, Bernadette. Just got in out of the rain. It's raining up with you. Oh, wow. Oh, it's been nice with us all day. Tomorrow's supposed to be a bit grey, but today has been lovely. Hey, I've not got a jumper on for the first time in a while, so I'm sorry it's raining. But yes, tomorrow's supposed to be a bit of a meh day, which is actually not bad, bearing in mind I've got my crafternoon tea party. And from there on in, it's supposed to start getting betterer and betterer. But the 21st of May, which I believe is a Saturday, I can guarantee will be wet, because I'm going to a concert. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's in the open, so it's a 1980s rock pop concert, and it's in the open. It was first supposed to happen in May 2020. Then it was postponed, obviously, until October last year, with the proviso that we all did lateral flows and took evidence that we had our lateral flows and blah blah blah, except on the morning of the event, it was when we had that torrential thunderstorm downpour, and the local authority banned them from holding the concert because it was unsafe. It was unspeakably wet. So I was quite pleased it was cancelled, because otherwise I would have gone and got wet and miserable. But yeah, so it's actually now happening, fingers crossed, on the 21st of May, and hopefully it will be nice. But at the moment it's looking, I've only got a long range forecast until the Thursday before, So who knows? Who knows? I'm going with my brother and sister-in-law because it's in their local village. So it makes it really easy. Right, have I got all of the bits off? Yes, I have. Now this is where it's going to get exciting because I've now got to line this up in the air. Eek. Now, there is a trick with this. There are a number of tricks with this, but there is a trick with this. Whew, I have to just trim that very top bit off, but otherwise we're all right. You can, if you're worried and you need a bit of movement, what you can do is put a little blob of liquid adhesive on the back of your dimensionals. Possibly not when you've got that many dimensionals, but you know, you understand what I'm saying, I think. And then it gives you a bit of slippage. So I'm just going to trim the bottom off. I can look at the top. It is slightly skew whiff at the top, so it's really a question of whether it's going to annoy me. Let's just get the worst of it off. Now, if you're doing this, you have to be very careful not to cut the top fold. Yep, that's all right. Good. Okay, so we have our card. Now we need a sentiment and some ribbon. So I've got a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and I'm just going to have it somewhere. And I'm using the It's Going to Be Fab, she says. No, I am going to use it. It's going to be fab. All right. Nope, nope. I'm going to be decisive for a change. Yep. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fab. So, actually I might come out. No, I'll do it this way with this side. I want it to the right for some reason. I don't know why. Right. So that's nicely stamped. Oh, and I'm going to just show you something else, which they do talk about in the catalogue, but just so that we covered it. Right. So this is not straight, as in the I've not stamped it straight. So I need to straighten up. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up, preferably not underneath my face. I'm lining up the words with the lines on the trimmer. So the 2B is nicely lined up here. That then means I know that is a straight line. So I can then, no, it's going to be all right. It's going to be fab. So I can then use this as my straight line for the stamp. I'm going to have to come across a little bit more. That's better, only because I was running out of space by the fab. There we go. And so I've got a straight line there, so let's do a straight line here. And then trim this top and bottom so that it's a nice clean cut rectangle without too much extra card. I was just checking that there weren't any more comments that I had missed. So that is our little sentiment. Let's get it out from under my face. And can't see the ribbon for looking at it. So what I'm going to do is, as they've done in the catalogue, I'm going to fray a piece of ribbon. So I'm going to cut it a little longer than I want it. Like that. And before I fray it, let me just grab a scrap of paper, because what I want to show you, and this may or may not work, it will definitely work if you use Stays On. This is going to be covered. So Bernadette saying, look what you're using. I love these. Will you be doing any demos with the Hues of Happiness paper? I have already done a demo with the Hues of Happiness, but I can guarantee you it will be coming out again. So Bee's off to work and she will be talking to me tomorrow. So I'm going to stamp this slightly to the left because I want... Actually, I could just use the other side, couldn't I? Right, so let's see if this works. And it does! Look! It's fab! Could almost just use that. Almost. It's fab. So you can actually stamp on it, which they do say in the catalogue you can, and you can. So there we go. Obviously you don't want to get it wet. If you want to get it wet, you would need stays on, but I wouldn't suggest getting ribbon wet anyway. Hopefully the back is more or less clean, yes. So I can still do my frayed edge and stuff. So let's fray my edge, which of course is not working as well this end as it did the other end. It's always the way, there's always one end that likes to work better than the other. So what I tend to do is before I've finished is cut. Is it the warp or the weft? I should know. I went to fashion college, so I should know which is the warp and which is the weft, but I can't remember. So thank you, Lorna. Lorna will show Bernadette how to find the one on the Hues of Happiness. I did it quite early on with pre-order. It is fantastic, isn't it, Val? It's just amazing what you can do with ink. So let's bring this in and decide where it's going to be fab. And I'm thinking either there or there. I'm thinking actually the top's probably better, and I might even go that way. Bring it down from the top so that we haven't got the frayed bit going off the edge. Yes? What do we think? Hello, Marlene from Wisconsin. There's always replay. So what do we think? Do we think that looks about right? I think it looks about right. So I'm either going up there. Could actually go over the edge, couldn't we? Ooh. Ooh. Could go over the edge. Could actually line this up without a border and go over the edge. What do we think? Do we think we want to go up at the top or down at the bottom? And do we think we want to offset the ribbon or go straight over the ribbon? Oh, I'm thinking down at the bottom now. I'm going to just have a little sip of drink and then I will let you decide. So while I'm waiting for you to decide, do remember that a thumbs up is always appreciated. The algorithm loves a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, you can do that in the bottom right hand corner. While I'm waiting for you to decide whether I'm going top left or bottom right, I'm also going to just show you these. So these are the filigree dies, and I die cut them. Marlene says bottom. Nora said at the edge top left. Looks good everywhere, Val. So yes, these are the little filigree. Love the frayed ribbon on the top left. Okay. Lorna has sent Bernadette the link in Messenger. Thank you, Lorna. So, looks like we're going top left. So far I have more votes for top left than anything else. As in I've got, oh no, bottom. We need a decider. So let's just, this is what we're getting from the filigree. Let me find something a bit darker. If only, oh that'll do. A phone. There we go. So that's what that looks like. So we've got top, 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 bottom, bottom, top. Right, I'm going top. That's it. Decision made. Decision made, going top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Seal Plus, if I can find it. There it is. It's exactly where it should be. And I'm going to add Seal Plus to the back of my ribbon. Some of it's staying. You can actually search for what you're looking for, if that doesn't sound odd. It does actually sound very odd. So you can actually search in my channel for, in tags, for hues of happiness. Just so you know. Right, so that's going to go off the edge. Let's get the side that's got the least adhesive on the edge. So off the edge. Now I'm going to put some more Seal Plus because I'm sticking to ribbon, so I need a really strong adhesive. And then pop this on top of my ribbon, preferably so it's all straight, which it more or less is. There we go. Phew. Right, because they're in the current mini, I'm going to add, because I know they're flattish, I'm going to add, where are you? You're in here somewhere, she says. Oh no, they're not. They're not. They're not in there, because I took them out because they're retiring. We've got these flat, opaque dot, polished dots. That's the one I'm looking for. So I'm going to add some of these. It's still going to turn into an expensive card to post, but I'm good with that. No, I do want to go up there. Because these, I don't know if they are petal pink, but they look petal pinkish, petal pink-esque. So you can actually put as many on as you want. So you can just bombard your card with, because, you know, for me, they're retiring, so I'm happy to use them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Might put 2 more on. So we'll have one down. Oh, I might put a big one down there. And a little one just in here. I'm going to go just there. And a big one down at the bottom. There. So that's what we've got. Don't know how well you can see that, but that's what we've got. Now, obviously, I will put a liner on the inside. So, yeah. And yes, we've got these lovely filigree. The other ones that I've done, which I haven't popped out yet, are this and this. And I'll probably make up a card using these and the die cuts that I stamped earlier. So these, which were the waste, or the positive from the negative, whichever way you want to look at it. So I'm going to do something with those, and I'll post it on my website when I post this, which will probably be Monday. I've got to do Simple Stamping Saturday. I've got to film Simple Stamping Saturday this evening. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. It's a lovely, lovely sweet. I mean, there is so. Thank you, Val. This has hardly scratched the surface of what you can do with this sweet. I'm thinking putting the big floral in gold embossing, on vellum, all sorts. I think it's going to be stunning. Thank you, Jan. So, right, I will flip the camera back up at me and say my proper goodbyes as trained by my mother. So do remember that a thumbs up would be lovely. If you're watching on there we go. If you're watching on replay and you've got any questions, thank you, Lorna. And you've got any questions, do leave those in the below the description bar. Rachel saying, have to rewatch, had to start dinner, but beautiful card. Thank you, Rachel. And I've got your stickers. I'm going to print them out, and probably on Sunday I'm going to stick them on my stamp sets and everything. They're brilliant, and I will be sharing. Rachel has done some amazing stickers. They're just amazing. Thank you, Lorna. Thank you, Marva. Thank you, Nora. Gorgeous, sweet, and card too. Thank you. So yes, if you've got any questions on the replay, do ask those in the description bar or below the description bar. I'm getting up to date with replies. I do always reply. Thank you, Marlene. I will probably not be doing a live tomorrow because I've got Simple Stamping Saturday. I might just do a live Simple Stamping Saturday, which I did last week. Let's do that. And then in the afternoon, you're very welcome, Rachel. They're stunning. I haven't appreciated how stunning they are, but they are stunning. Thank you, Judith. So yes, I'll do a live tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow afternoon I'm doing my crafternoon tea, and then I'll go live again on Monday. I will try and get this live for Monday. I may even get it live for Sunday, you never know. I have no idea what my week looks like next week, apart from probably busy Monday. Gym. Oh, actually not too busy. I've got my team craft and chat, but that's about it. Apart from going to the gym first thing. So I've got gym first thing in the morning, and one of my favourite times of the month, the team craft and chat in the evening. So that'll be great. Okay, so thank you very much indeed. I'm blethering now. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. I'm so pleased you liked that. It is a beautiful, beautiful suite. We really don't have enough time to look at all of this. But because no sooner than we're getting used to this catalogue, and we'll get the new mini, which blows my mind that we don't have longer with the annual. But anyway, thank you very much indeed. Have a fantastic rest of your day, however long that is, depending on where in the world you are. And I will see some of you hopefully tomorrow morning live for Simple Stamping Saturday, and then we'll be back next week. Tuesday, 11 a.m. in UK time, Thursday, 3 p.m. UK time are definite lives, and then I'll be doing randoms throughout the rest of the week. So thanks a lot for joining me, and I will say goodbye.